This video is for government. We are covering pages 147 all the way up through 154. Going over the highlights for this. So on page 147, we are talking about the Supreme Court. So highlight the bold term Supreme Court and highlight that it is the highest tribunal or highest court in the United States. Below that, highlight that the court has 8 associate justices in addition to the Chief Justice, so in all 9 justices. And we've got a list at the bottom of the page of all of the Supreme Justices of the court ever since the year 1789. Turning the page, page 148, find the bold term judicial review. Highlight its definition. This is the right of the court to declare a law or action based upon that law unconstitutional. Highlight this guy's name, Chief Justice John Marshall. He asserted the right of judicial review in the court case Marbury versus Madison in 1803. So highlight his name, highlight the court case Marbury versus Madison, and draw a line connecting judicial review to Marbury versus Madison. You will want to know that this is the court case that determined judicial review. On the next page, page 149, under the legal road to the Supreme Court, find the bold term writ of certiorari. And this is a Latin term for a writ made more certain. So highlight the bold term, highlight its definition. This is a petition for the court to hear a case. Turning to page 150, find the bold term discretionary review. Highlight that this is the power to decide whether it will hear a case or not. At the end of the second column on page 150, find the bold term amicus curiae and highlight its definition. It is filed by individuals who are not parties in the case but still have an interest in the case's outcome. On the next page, page 151, find the bold term in the second column, the conference handshake. Highlight that bold term, connect it down to the definition. Each justice shakes hands with the other 8. And keep highlighting this custom serves to remind all of the justices that differences of opinion do not preclude the harmony of purpose. Some of the justices are more liberal, some are more conservative. So this is to remind them that it doesn't matter how their opinions differ, they are to work together in harmony. Right, turning the page, there are no highlights on page 152 except for the very end of the second column, opinion day. But the definition is on page 153, so highlight that. Opinion day marks the final stage of the Supreme Court's decision-making process. Under the changing role of the court, highlight the historical role of the Supreme Court has been to interpret and apply the Constitution as it stands written and as it was understood by its framers. This philosophy is known as judicial restraint. And obviously, this would seem to make the most sense. The Constitution should be understood as it was written. We shouldn't try to read into it. We shouldn't try to add to it. We should understand it exactly as the framers, the writers, intended it. Unfortunately, in the 1950s and 1960s, highlight this guy's name, Earl Warren. Don't like this guy. Earl Warren adopted a philosophy of highlight this, judicial activism. Highlight its definition. This is the belief that judges should go beyond the 4 corners of the Constitution and use the Constitution to change societal behavior. It is not the job of the Supreme Court to change societal behavior. It is not the job of any judge to reinterpret the Constitution and recreate it. It was written as it is for a purpose, and it should not, we shouldn't go beyond that. But Earl Warren developed this idea of judicial activism. On the next column, second to last paragraph, find the words activist tradition. Highlight that, activist tradition. And then underneath that, highlight revolutionary. That's really all about what it was. It was making revolutionary decisions, and connect all of that with Roe v. Wade. And this is most commonly known as the court decision that made abortions legal. So this was ignoring religion, morality, and law, and really basic common human decency in allowing people to deliberately kill their unborn children. So all of that came from judicial activism, making revolutionary decisions, and defying really what the Constitution was originally intended to be. So those are the last of the highlights for these pages. Make sure that you read everything thoroughly and answer your review questions, and let me know if you have any questions over our topics for today. Have a great day.